Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Елена Malышевой. Today we are going on a fascinating journey through your refrigerator. Do you think the refrigerator is a reliable guardian of food freshness? What if I tell you that it can turn your favorite vegetables and fruits into real enemies of your health? Imagine potatoes, onions, and tomatoes lying cozily in the refrigerator drawers, but instead of being beneficial, they begin to damage your health, accumulating toxins and losing valuable nutrients. You may be harming your body without even realizing it. Today I will reveal the secret of 7 foods that must never be stored in the refrigerator. 7 foods that must never be kept there, and I will add a bonus that will surprise you. Before we begin, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me share useful information. Thank you so much. And also write in the comments where you are watching from and what time it is now. It's so interesting to know where you are. Now, let's begin our journey together. The first product on our list is potatoes. Potatoes are the king of our table: mashed potatoes, fried potatoes, baked wedges. Who doesn't love these dishes? But if you store potatoes in the refrigerator, it's time to stop.
Why?
Let's figure it out. Potatoes are a vegetable accustomed to a cool, but not icy environment. Underground, where they grow, the temperature is usually around 10 to 15 degrees, and in the refrigerator, it is only 3 to 5 degrees. For potatoes, this is a real winter. In such conditions, they begin to fight for survival, turning starch into sugar. It's like a person shivering in the cold to keep warm. But the problem is not the sugar itself. The real danger begins when you cook such potatoes. If you fry or bake potatoes rich in sugar at temperatures above 120 degrees, a substance called acrylamide forms. This chemical compound is classified by the World Health Organization as a probable carcinogen. A study conducted in 2023 by the Moscow Institute of Medical Research showed that frying potatoes at 180 degrees for 3 minutes results in acrylamide levels of 820 micrograms per kilogram, 60% more than frying at 150 degrees. Acrylamide attacks the liver, exhausting it like a toxin processing factory. It also damages nerve cells, which can manifest as memory deterioration or tingling in the fingers. In the long term, acrylamide creates conditions for the development of stomach or intestinal cancer. Here is a real case. Meet Irina Petrovna, a 62-year-old resident of Moscow. She loved fried potatoes and always stored her potatoes in the refrigerator, thinking they would stay fresh longer. But after a year, she began to experience chronic fatigue and heaviness on the right side. After an examination, doctors discovered mild liver damage. When they learned that Irina cooked potatoes taken from the refrigerator, they immediately identified the cause: acrylamide accumulated due to improper storage. After changing her habits and storing potatoes properly, Irina felt better within 3 months. You will be surprised to learn that a simple change in potato storage can reduce carcinogens by 80%. Here are some tips. First, never put potatoes in the refrigerator. Store them in a cool place at about 7 to 10 degrees, such as a pantry or a shaded balcony. Second, wrap the potatoes in newspaper or a paper bag. This protects them from light and moisture, preventing the formation of solanine, the toxin that makes potatoes turn green. If the potato has already turned green, cut these areas out deeply. Third, before frying, soak the sliced potatoes in warm water around 60 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes. This can reduce acrylamide formation by up to 85%. And finally, avoid overheating the oil above 150 degrees. A golden color is your guideline. If the potatoes turn brown, acrylamide is already there. The second product is onions. Onions are an irreplaceable guest in our kitchen: soups, stews, salads. They are everywhere. But storing onions in the refrigerator can turn them from a friend into an enemy. Why do onions hate moisture? In the refrigerator, humidity reaches 85 to 95%, and for onions this is like living in a swamp. They start absorbing moisture, becoming soft, and slimy spots can appear inside, the first sign of spoilage. But the worst part is mold. The cold and moist environment is perfect for fungi. If you see green or black spots inside the onion, that is mold producing toxins such as aflatoxin. Aflatoxin is not just a word. A study conducted in 2024 by St. Petersburg State Medical University showed that aflatoxin formed in onions stored in the refrigerator for more than 2 weeks can cause chronic liver problems. This toxin gradually exhausts the liver, causing fatigue and, in severe cases, even cirrhosis. In addition, onions lose their beneficial components. The antioxidant quercetin, which strengthens blood vessels and lowers blood pressure, breaks down by 35% after just 10 days in the refrigerator. Let me tell you the story of Viktor Ivanovich, a 67-year-old resident of Novosibirsk. He loved adding onions to every soup, but stored them in the refrigerator. After several months, he noticed constant bloating and digestive issues. After tests, the doctor discovered that the cause was toxins from moldy onions. Viktor was shocked. He thought he was doing everything right. Once he changed his storage habits, his symptoms disappeared within 3 weeks. Many people don't realize that onions in the refrigerator can silently weaken the liver. How to store onions correctly. First, do not remove the outer peel. It protects against moisture and bacteria. Second, place onions in a mesh bag or basket and store them in a dry, well-ventilated area like a kitchen corner or balcony. Third, keep onions away from potatoes. Onion aroma makes potatoes sprout faster. If the onion is already cut, store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator, but use it within 5 to 7 days. And here's a tip. Squeeze the onion slightly before use. If it feels soft or smells strange, throw it out. Don't stop watching, because the next product will surprise you even more. You definitely have it at home, and you may be making the same mistake right now. The third product on our list is garlic. Garlic is a true hero of the kitchen and folk medicine. It is added to soups, marinades, and many people eat it to strengthen their immune system. But if you store peeled garlic in the refrigerator, you may be seriously harming your health. Why? Let's figure it out. Garlic without its skin becomes vulnerable. As soon as you remove the protective layer, it begins to oxidize, like an apple that darkens when exposed to air. And in the refrigerator, where humidity exceeds 80%, peeled garlic absorbs moisture like a sponge. It becomes sticky, soft, and even develops a greenish tint. This is not just a visual problem. It is a warning sign. The main value of garlic is allicin, which boosts immunity and fights bacteria. But according to a 2024 study by the Nutrition Institute of the Russian Academy of Sciences, allicin in peeled garlic stored in the refrigerator breaks down by 65% within just 3 days. This means garlic loses its healing power. Moreover, storing peeled garlic in airtight containers can be even more dangerous. In low-oxygen conditions inside a refrigerator, botulism bacteria can grow, producing a toxin capable of causing nerve paralysis even in small doses. Here is a real story. Anna Sergeevna, a 60-year-old resident of Kazan, always bought peeled garlic at the market to save time. She stored it in the refrigerator and added it to her food daily. But soon she began to suffer from heartburn and weakness. After an examination, doctors diagnosed gastritis. The reason? Peeled garlic stored in the refrigerator had changed its structure and irritated her stomach lining. Once Anna changed her storage habits, the symptoms disappeared within a month. Continue watching till the end, because proper garlic storage can double your immunity. How to store garlic. If you bought peeled garlic, freeze it immediately. Divide it into portions, wrap in plastic, and place it in the freezer. Frozen garlic preserves nutrients and is safe. To use it, simply take out the needed portion and add it to your dish while frozen. Store whole garlic in a mesh bag in a cool, well-ventilated place at 15 to 18 degrees. Never leave peeled garlic in the refrigerator for more than 3 days. It's a health risk. The fourth product is tomatoes. Tomatoes are not just delicious vegetables, but a true treasure for your health, especially for men. Their bright red color indicates high levels of lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that protects against prostate cancer and slows aging. But if you store tomatoes in the refrigerator, you deprive yourself of these benefits. Why? Tomatoes are heat-loving vegetables. They continue to ripen even after harvesting, accumulating lycopene at temperatures between 15 to 25 degrees. But in the refrigerator, where it's only 3 to 5 degrees, the ripening process stops. Worse, The cold destroys tomato cell membranes, making them limp and robbing them of flavor and aroma. A study conducted in 2023 by the Moscow Medical University showed that tomatoes stored in the refrigerator for just 1 week lose up to 60% of lycopene and 45% of vitamin C. This means you are eating red shells almost devoid of nutrients. For men, this is especially critical because lycopene reduces the risk of prostate issues. Cold also alters tomato structure, making them less flavorful. A joint study by universities in St. Petersburg and California confirmed that genes responsible for tomato aroma turn off at temperatures below 12 degrees. Meet Dmitry Ivanovich, a 60-year-old resident of St. Petersburg. He ate tomatoes daily to support prostate health, but stored them in the refrigerator. During a routine checkup, his PSA, prostate-specific antigen, level was above normal. The doctor, learning of his storage habit, explained, "You're eating tomatoes, but without lycopene, they are useless." Dmitry began storing tomatoes at room temperature, and after 3 months, his PSA levels returned to normal. You will be amazed to learn that tomatoes ripened at room temperature can be more effective than some supplements. How to store tomatoes. Never refrigerate unripe tomatoes. Let them ripen to a bright red color at room temperature. Eat ripe tomatoes within 2 to 3 days, storing them in a kitchen basket. For maximum lycopene absorption, cook tomatoes with olive oil. This increases bioavailability by 40%. Alternate raw tomatoes for vitamin C, with cooked ones for lycopene. The 5th product is cucumbers. Cucumbers are the stars of summer dishes, crunchy salads, cold soups. But if you pull a soft, slippery cucumber dripping with water out of the refrigerator, know this is the result of improper storage. Cucumbers are tropical vegetables from warm regions. They cannot tolerate temperatures below 10 degrees. In the refrigerator, where it is 3 to 5 degrees, their cell walls begin to break down like ice under the sun. After just 2 days, cucumbers lose their crispness, and by day 3, they lose flavor and nutritional value entirely. But it's not just about taste. Cold kills the natural digestive enzymes in cucumbers, making them harder to digest. A 2024 study by the Russian Institute of Preventive Medicine showed that people who regularly ate cucumbers from the refrigerator were 30% more likely to complain of bloating and stomach heaviness. The reason? Damaged cucumber cells lose dietary fiber that supports a healthy gut microbiome. Cucumbers also lose up to 40% of vitamin K, essential for bone health and blood clotting. Here is the story of Olga Nikolaevna, a 68-year-old resident of Ekaterinburg. Every summer she made cucumber salads, but stored them in the refrigerator. Soon she noticed constant bloating and discomfort. The doctor explained that cold cucumbers are poorly digested and overload the intestines. Once Olga began storing cucumbers correctly, her symptoms disappeared within 2 weeks. Many people don't know that cucumbers in the refrigerator can make your stomach cry for help. How to store cucumbers. Wrap them in newspaper and store them vertically in a cool place. Cucumbers grow hanging on vines. That's where they feel best. Avoid moisture. Do not wash cucumbers before storing them. Otherwise, they soften quickly. Eat cucumbers within 3 to 5 days. If already cut, store them in an airtight container in the refrigerator, but no more than 2 days. Tip: wrap the cucumber in paper towel to absorb excess moisture. Don't switch off because the next product is something you eat almost daily, and storing it incorrectly can seriously affect your health. The 6th product on our list is bananas. Bananas are the perfect snack for the whole family. Kids and adults love them, and for many, they are a quick breakfast. But if you take a banana out of the refrigerator and see that its peel has turned black, know that this is not just a cosmetic change. Bananas are tropical fruits from warm countries like Vietnam and Ecuador. They have never encountered cold in nature, which is why refrigerator temperatures of 3 to 5 degrees feel like Arctic frost to them. Cold destroys banana cell walls, causing the peel to blacken and the inside to become soft and flavorless. But it's not just about appearance. Cold destroys nutrients. A 2024 study by the Russian Institute of Cardiology showed that bananas stored at 5 degrees for just 5 days lose up to 80% of vitamin C, 20% of potassium, Vitamin C strengthens immunity, and potassium supports heart health and prevents muscle spasms. Without them, you may catch colds more often and feel fatigued. Cold also stops the ripening process, preventing bananas from developing antioxidants. Meet Sergei Pavlovich, a 70-year-old resident of Vladivostok. He ate a banana every morning but stored them in the refrigerator. Soon he began suffering from night leg cramps and chronic fatigue. Tests revealed a deficiency of potassium. The doctor, learning how he stored bananas, explained, "You're eating bananas, but they're almost devoid of nutrients." Sergei began storing bananas at room temperature, and within a month the cramps disappeared and his energy returned. You'll be surprised to learn that bananas in the refrigerator can make you feel more tired. How to store bananas correctly. Never refrigerate unripe bananas. Let them ripen to a yellow color at room temperature. Use a banana hanger. Hanging reduces contact points and prevents spoilage. Wrap banana stems with plastic wrap. This slows the release of ethylene gas, which accelerates ripening. If bananas are overripe, peel and freeze them for smoothies, but never freeze them with the peel. The seventh product is bread. Bread is the foundation of our meals, morning toast, lunchtime sandwiches. It's always with us. But many people store bread in the refrigerator fearing mold. Surprisingly, this is a mistake. Bread spoils faster in the refrigerator than at room temperature.
Why?
The main component of bread is starch. At temperatures between 0 and 10 degrees, starch undergoes retrogradation. It crystallizes, pushing out moisture. Bread becomes hard as stone within a couple of days. A 2023 study by the Novosibirsk Medical University showed that bread hardens 6 times faster in the refrigerator than at room temperature. But it's not just about texture. Hard bread is harder to digest and burdens the stomach. A 2024 study by the Russian Institute of Gastroenterology found that people who regularly ate bread from the refrigerator were 35% more likely to suffer from bloating and discomfort. Bread also absorbs odors from the refrigerator, such as fish or sauerkraut, losing its flavor. Here is the story of Maria Vasilyevna, a 67-year-old resident of Sochi. She ate bread every morning and stored it in the refrigerator. During a medical examination, she was found to have elevated blood sugar levels close to prediabetes. The dietitian discovered that refrigerator-stored bread was causing sharp spikes in her blood sugar. Maria began storing bread correctly.